Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, watch out for that first step. It's a doozy. Pothole Stout is a 7.5% coffee porter from Brewery Vivant in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Pothole Stout is following that recent trend I've been exploring of trying styles from breweries that I might not think of for a specific style. Now, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think of Vivant for their stouts, although I've had a few of them. So I'm just really curious how this one goes. Let's take a look at the label. We'll get it into a glass, but first I'd like to thank my executive producers Ryan Barry, Eric Latowski, Brian Kramer, Zach, and Cam Freeman for helping bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe even just buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.com/draft_therapy, where you can get early access to these videos, exclusive patron-only live streams, and a few other special perks for special people. So let's take a look at the label here. On the front, you see the tire treads all over this. It says Brewery Vivant Pothole Stout, brewed with Sparrow's coffee and milk sugars, 7.5% alcohol by volume. It has Vivant's red rooster logo, Sparrow's Coffee, which I'm assuming this is their logo, and then underneath, right in the middle, there is a Michigan-sized or Michigan-shaped pothole in the concrete. Just a really cool label. Really captures the spirit of Michigan. And on the back here, it says Pothole Stout. It's unavoidable. Winter in the Mitten State can be a trying time. We've made this stout to help you get through it with a smile. Infused with Sparrow's Coffee and brewed with lactose for a smooth, rich flavor. Then it says 1% of sales benefit local charities. 1 pint has the mibeer.com, which is the Michigan Brewers Guild website, and then it's Certified B Corporation. On the other side, it has the government warning, and then the information about Brewery Vivant at 925 Cherry Street in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and their website. So I'm going to use a Belgian snifter style glass. I feel it's only appropriate to use maybe a Belgian style glass. I guess they try and go for more farmhouse ale kind of stuff. So maybe this is a total wrong choice, but I like it for stouts. So actually on the bottom here, this was packaged on December 22nd, 2020. And then it says the best part of waking up. And today is the 16th, Saturday, January 16th. I almost forgot what day it was. All right, let's crack this. I'm getting a nose on the can here. Not really getting much of an aroma at all here. Directly out of the can, maybe getting a really slight malty kind of aroma out of there. It almost, I don't know. I'm not getting a whole lot out of it. Definitely not getting a coffee aroma. Let's go ahead and pour this. Coming out dark out of the can. It's a little bit transparent. It's like a dark transparent, so I can see through it, but it's not thin. It looks like a thinner kind of coffee, but really not that thin. I was expecting it maybe to be a little bit darker just because it's infused with that coffee. But we're looking at here on the overhead, it's about getting a little bit more of an aroma here. So we're getting about a finger and a half worth of head. If you can see from the overhead, it is a tannish color. Bubbles are fairly compact. There are some larger ones here. It seems like it is dissipating somewhat quickly. Let's go ahead and hold it up to the light. Very dark, not seeing through it. It has more of a brownish tinge to it than necessarily black, so it looks a little bit more like a dark coffee than it does just kind of opaque. Obviously, I'm not seeing through it, not seeing any kind of shape or color. Let's go ahead and put a nose on the glass, get a better whiff here. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more of the coffee kind of aroma out of the glass, but it's still not really jumping out with them being a collaboration with a coffee roaster, I'm assuming. I would guess that it would be, have just more of an oomph of a coffee aroma, but let's go ahead and try it, get a taste of it. Cheers. Wow. So it's a lot sweeter than I was expecting it to be. The mouthfeel is a little bit more on the thinner side. It's a rather thin mouthfeel. It's not extra heavy. It's not really even medium. I would consider a little bit more on the lighter end of the scale. So it's got a little bit more of a thinness. Let's get a better taste here, and I'll walk you through the taste a little bit more. So yeah, a little bit more of kind of a cola flavor to it, a little bit more of a lighter roasted malty flavor to it. I keep thinking in my head this is called Pothole Stout, and I keep thinking to myself that this is going to be more of a stout. Again, it's 7.5%, or at least that's what I believe that's what the Untapped number was, because I don't think it actually says on this can anywhere what the percentage is. But oh, it says on the front here, 7.5% alcohol by volume. Not getting a whole lot of that alcohol flavor. I'm not getting much indication that it's that high ABV. Again, it's, as I was saying, it's more of it's a porter. You know, it's labeled as a stout, but it's actually a porter. That's what it's classified on Untapped. That's what I kind of looked it up on Untapped to get a little bit more information on the beer itself. So that's kind of throwing me off. Like, I'm expecting it to have really deep, rich flavor of a stout, but it actually has a little bit more of a portrayal like a porter. Again, with it being a collaboration with a coffee, again, I'm thinking it's a coffee roaster. I'm not familiar at all with what Sparrow's coffee is, but I'm thinking that's more of a roaster. I was thinking that this would be more of a really heavily, you know, just a coffee punch in the face. And I guess it doesn't always work like that. There is a bit of a creaminess to it, you know, as it kind of settles in my mouth, on my tongue. I can kind of tell that it has a bit more of a kind of creamy quality to it. I don't really pick that up on the mouthfeel, but on the flavor, it has a little bit of more of a creaminess. The lactose, for me, when I have a beer with lactose, generally the lactose can present itself to my taste as more of a bitterness. I'm not picking that up here. I feel like there's a bit more of a kind of sweet vibe going on there. There's a little bit of a coffee flavor, but also a little bit of a sweetness. And I'm thinking the lactose, it's being milk sugar, that it's adding a little bit of that sweet quality to it. The coffee is there, but it's just really deep, dark in there. There's more of a that sweetness and a little bit more of a roasted malty flavor than there is any kind of coffee. I would think I mean, not that I would think, my critique on this is that I would have expected it to have more coffee flavor. I would love to see it with more coffee flavor. I can accept that it's a porter and not a stout, or at least, again, I'm going off of what Untapped says. And, you know, coffees and porters, I'm sorry, stouts and porters are very close together as it is, but this is definitely more on that porter end. And I just would have liked to have seen a little bit, maybe a little bit even pulled back on that sweetness, but a lot more coffee. Going into this, I was just expecting a lot more coffee, and I'm a little disappointed that there isn't much coffee. Again, it is in there, but it is buried so deep in there that it's almost imperceptible until the aftertaste. And again, I just would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a ramped up coffee flavor throughout this beer. All right, friends, that has been Pothole Stout from Brewery Vivant. Have you had this beer before? If so, what did you think? What do you think about the stout versus porter thing? Does it really even matter to you? Let me know in the comments down below while you're down there. If you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell, because I'm here talking about beer twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications, and that would just rip my heart out. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, cheers.